Hi, and welcome to another session of In the Kitchen with Roberto. I am Roberto, and today I have a very special recipe for you. It's a recipe that is a staple in my homeland. I'm from Nicaragua, and it's not called Gallo Pinto. And Gallo Pinto is nothing more than a mixed rice and beans with seasoning. Very traditional throughout all Central America, and you can find it also in the Caribbean. I know Cubans, they call it congri when they make it with the black beans. And that's what we're gonna make today. My gallo pinto, I always use black beans. So let me show you the ingredients. So we have a medium white onion that is chopped. I have a quarter each of red and green bell peppers. And these are my seasonings. And this is a mixture of 1 teaspoon of sea salt, or you can use seasoned salt. That's what I use today. 1 teaspoon of onions granulates. 1 teaspoon of garlic granulates. And I also have a quarter of a teaspoon of ground cumin. And that's what this is. I also have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and I have 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. Do not use olive oil for this particular dish. Again, the olive oil will overpower the flavor of the gallo pinto, so you don't want to do that. This is 1.5 cups of already cooked white rice. Remember, it's 1.5 cup of raw white rice that you cook. So this is the portion that you will get. And I cooked my rice the night before. And I will explain to you later the reason why. And something that I learned from a customer of mine. And here, this is a can of 20-ounce black beans. This can, I do not shake. I just leave it as is, grab it from my pantry, bring it here, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So let's open this one before we do anything else. So I got a bowl and a colander. And what I do, I just slowly put it in the center of the colander. Just drop the whole thing, and don't touch it. Do not spread it, just leave it here. Okay, right in the middle. Just leave it. We're gonna let it grain while we prepare the onions and the bell peppers. All right, so let me turn this on here. You want it at a medium high. And the first thing that we're gonna do is to add the 2 tablespoons of the sunflower oil. We're gonna add the chopped onion. The chopped red and green bell pepper. And that's gonna fry a little bit here. While this is frying, let me tell you something about bell peppers. So this is the bottom of the 2 that I use. I want you to look at it. How many bumps do you see? 3. These are called the male. And the male are good for cooking. So they have a little bit less seeds than the one I'm gonna show you next, but they're good for cooking. Remember, you want 3 bumps. This one have 4. This is called the female. And the female is a little sweeter in taste. It have more seeds too than the other 2. But it's good if you eat it raw. Like if you put it in a salad, or you want to do a crudité platter, this is what you want. The one with the 4 bumps, the female. It's a little sweeter. So this is cooking here. Another thing, I'm gonna talk to you about the rice while this is cooking. So I was doing a demonstration about a couple of years ago, and I was doing I don't remember what it was, but I was using rice from one of my customers. So I have a customer who approached me, and the first thing he asked me is, before he knew I was demoing rice, he said to me, "Did you cook the rice last night or just now?" And I said to him, "No, I always cook my rice the night before, because I like it that way better. It doesn't get mushy, you know, when you cook." And that's how, when you go to a Chinese restaurant and you order fried rice, I guarantee you that the rice is cooked the night before, to prevent that. Anyway, so he asked me for a sample, so I gave it to him, and then he asked me for another one, and we start talking. So before he left, I asked him and said, "Can I ask you the reason you asked me? Why did I cook my rice, if I cooked my rice last night or today?" And he told me that he was pre-diabetic. And he explained to me that by cooking the rice and put it overnight in the cooler, it lowered the glycemic index in it. So what it does is increases the resistant starch. So it's a lot easier to digest, and more for him. I mean, I didn't know that. So, and it does the same thing for pasta and potatoes. So I came home and I did a little research, and he was right. He was right. So every time I get the opportunity to tell people about it, I do so. So remember, cook the rice the night before, put it in the fridge, and use it the day after. All right, I think this is a little bit more. I'm gonna put the temperature up a little bit. We're almost done. So, have you had Gallo Pinto before? Well, I hope that this will be a staple in your household as well. It's super good, super delicious. Vegetarian, vegan too. Although I have to admit, there are times that if I am in a Mexican market and they have a butcher department in the back, I go and visit with them, and on the top you see this container of lard, fat, solidified. And what it is, if they do carnitas in there, they pack those containers, and you can buy it and take it home. So sometimes I use it when I do my Gallo Pinto, and it gives the delicious flavor of the pork. But again, I eat everything, so, but you can stick to the oil that we're doing today. So, but if you want a little extra flavor, and if you have a Mexican market in your area, go to the department, the meat department, and ask for it. All right, so we have this here. So now we're gonna add the beans. You see how thick that is? That's what you want. That's flavor, okay? So we just mix it a little bit. All right, so at this time, we're gonna add the seasonings, the mixture here. And we're also gonna add the Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna just stir a little bit here. As you can see, I'm using a wooden fork. And when I put the rice in there, you're gonna see the reason why. Oh, this is looking good here. Let me see if I can do this here. Get a little bit closer to you so you can see. That's how it looks. That's what you want. Again, this is on medium high. All right. And we're ready for the rice. So we're gonna add the rice. Look at how fluffy that is. That's what you want. You want everything to be separated. All right. So this is what I use it for. pay attention to this. Again, I don't want this mixture to be mushed. So what I do is I put the fork right in the middle to the bottom and I start making some circular here. And then I move it around closer to the wall of the pan, and you keep doing that. So you're just touching the bottom of the pan the whole time, and everything is getting mixed together here. So and just keep mixing until you see that everything, all the color, like all the rice gets some of the coated with juices from the bean and the seasoning. So that's the color you want. You don't want to see any white pieces of rice grain in there. That's perfect. Now, if you don't have a wooden fork, what you can do, these are wooden skewers, or you can do some chopstick and just cut the tips. Make it flat, and you just put them close together and do the same thing. Just start rotating, okay? So look, you want this to be separate, to be fluffy. You don't want it to be a big mess. It's not mashed potatoes that you're looking for here, So this is a side dish for everything back home. I love it in the morning with scrambled eggs, and then we put some queso fresco, some Mexican white cheese, and a couple of tortillas, and man, you can call it a beautiful breakfast. If you have leftover meat, you can slice it, chop it, and fry it the morning after with a little bit of Gallo Pinto, and man, this is so good. Now, like I said, I usually lower the temperature and let it fry a little bit more for about 5 minutes or so. But I think this is ready. This is the way it should look. So we're gonna turn this off and we're gonna plate it too. And there you have it, Nicaraguan Gallo Pinto. I hope you get a chance to make it, and I'm sure you will love it. But please, most important, I want you to text me back and make some comments, and let me hear your feedback. It's always important to me. And if you have a suggestion or something that you would like to learn how to cook, and sometimes take a little bit of shortcut, especially with Latin food, it's a lot of preparation. So the beans, I like you use canned, like you said, but some people make it from scratch, and that's fine. But I like simple. So, and we can recreate the same with the same flavors, but a lot of less labor. So, and if you have another recipe that you would like to learn how to make, go ahead and tell me. I'd be more than happy to consider, and perhaps I can make it for you. Well, thanks again, and hope to see you soon again. Meanwhile, you guys take care, okay?